Here we are. Welcome to Green Eggs and Dan, Moshe. I'm very excited to have you here. It is. I saw you a while ago at a synagogue, and I told you I'd like to have you on. It was synagogue chat, and here we
Yes,
are.
it's sort of a classic Jew agreement. You get
Yes,
together, you talk Hollywood, you trade insider secrets, and
yes.
you come on each other's podcasts.
And here we are. We're doing it. And look, I'm gonna share your fridge. You guys can see Moshe's fridge on my Instagram at StandUpDan. So I'll tell you this. I didn't know that you were rich. Okay, I didn't know you were a rich person.
There's
And
a
now I'm looking at
lot.
this fridge. I'm like, he's very, very rich.
Well, there's a lot going on in what you're saying. First of all, I'm sure you've heard this before. It's the most vulnerable. I've talked about like degrading sexual experiences I've had on podcasts with absolutely no self-consciousness whatsoever. When you asked me I talked about going to rehab when I was 12. I mean, all this stuff. When you asked me to send a picture of my fridge, it was the most vulnerable, invasive, disrespectful in a way thing anyone's ever asked. And the fact that I mean, I don't even, I'm from the Bay Area, so calling somebody rich is actually a grave insult in the Bay Area.
Right,
In LA, it's kind of a flex. In LA, it's kind of like, well,
right.
you're damn right.
Yeah.
But I take offense to the implication, and I also have an explanation. The,
Okay. Well,
we
before you take offense,
Yes,
I
it's too
ask you
late.
this. What poor person, what middle class person, what upper middle class person has count them, two maple syrups?
Both, by the way, not on purpose. You'll have to believe me, listener. Put into the fridge backwards to try to obscure the fact that they're double maple syrups. That perhaps there's something else. Perhaps it's Mrs. Butterworth's in a maple container.
Oh
Listen,
man.
my daughter turned 7 last week. We had a
Okay.
camp out.
Mhm.
We went to Costco. Does that sound like the behavior of a hoity-toity upper crust type person? I went to Costco in person. I didn't even send an assistant, Dan.
Right,
And
right.
we were making pancakes for all of the campers. And so, yeah, we bought the 3-pack of maple syrup. And then they were both opened because we didn't have full control over, I would say we're not, Natasha Leggero and I are not, we don't have our food preparation licenses. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So we double
Okay.
opened. We double opened. And
Okay.
they had to go into the fridge.
I mean, this is a there's so much chaos in this fridge. Um, there's a milk that's on its side at an angle, not even in the not in the door, just like in the middle aisle. Um, there's there's two big beautiful jars of or containers of peaches, are they?
Can I just say something about the milk?
Okay, please. The
Have
Horizon
you noticed?
organic milk, by the way.
Have you noticed what's been
Moshe sent me a very low res picture so that I wouldn't be able to make out the hoity-toity brands, but I know that's Horizon. I know that's a
Hold on.
Horizon organic milk.
Let me say this. First of all, I can send you the high res right now, and you can pull it up. I'm not ashamed of anything. Okay. Um, have you noticed what's been going on in Yosemite? How they're firing a bunch of the rangers, and then suddenly on Half Dome appeared an upside down American flag to say we are in crisis.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I was
Well,
busy
do
looking
you
at your
know about
fridge.
that?
I was
Do you
busy
know
looking at
about
your
that, Dan?
fridge and thinking of
That
how
when you
much money I was going to ask you to borrow. But okay, go on.
when you fly an American flag upside down, it means, country in peril. It's a
Yes.
commentary on that's what this is with the milk. The milk is in there upside down and to the side to make a meta commentary on the dairy industry, right? And to basically say that dairy has gone too far. I don't drink. You
Mm.
think I drink milk? No, this is for your listeners and for you, Dan, to rethink your relationship to dairy.
Oh my God. And is it filled with petroleum just to like make another message?
Yeah. It's just pure apple cider vinegar in there to cure literally any disease.
Well, tell me what message you're making by having the I can't believe it's not butter up here. It's not. I can't believe it's not butter, but it's that. What
No,
is
how
that fake
dare you?
butter? It's the
It's Earth
Earth
Balance.
Balance. Earth Balance.
It's I
Right.
can't
Which
believe it's not butter for Kamala voters.
it should be called. I still can't believe it's not butter, but now it has a rebrand. It's called Earth Balance, but it's not butter. It's like an olive oil based butter. Which how do you turn butter into olive oil? It ain't good. It ain't good.
It still ain't butter. You're right. Yeah, we can believe it's not butter because no matter what you do, it ain't butter. I'll be
Um.
honest, actually, about the butter versus vegan butter thing. Is
mm,
I'm not one of these people that will follow any trend, but somehow my in terms of dietary health stuff, but
yeah.
somehow my algorithm is filled with enough like anti-seed oil.
Oh shoot. We just lost Moshe. We just lost him. It seems like the seed oil lobby just heard that and disconnected him from our podcast. Oh, if you are listening, Big Seed Oil, I'm a huge fan of all your oils. Canola is a real fun one. I love sesame seed oil. It makes Asian food taste great. I like sunflower seed oil, safflower flower seed oil. Please, do not cut me off of my own podcast, Big Seed Oil. I love you. I raise my American flag upright to all the things you were doing.
So sorry, I don't know what happened. It bugged
My
out.
God,
I'm good now. I'm good now.
well, we blamed it on. It was right when you said seed oil that it cut out, and we thought Big Seed Oil was listening.
Canola Inc. Yeah,
Canola.
no. I sent
You
you
got
high
canola.
res. Listen,
Oh, you
just so
did
you
great.
know. Yeah, and by the way, in getting canola can mean a lot of very different things. It's not appropriate for a food podcast, but that's offensive language too. I sent you high res pictures to prove to you that I'm not ashamed, so you can pull them up and you can really take me to town.
You should know that I am such a foodie that I won't even use canola as lube. Okay? I knew
Uh,
that I'm assuming that's what you were alluding to.
have you? I mean, I don't want to get too nasty here, but have you ever been
That's
forced to
fine.
go into foodstuffs for your personal pleasure? Because I have, and I got to tell you, olive oil is a great. It's a great option. It's a great option.
You know, I
Coconut's
use
better.
olive oil. I use olive oil for, I actually use it for everything. I use it as my face moisturizer. I use it as shaving cream. Uh, so
Said like a
yes, I,
true Mizrahi Jew.
yeah. I
As a
bathe
as
in it.
a as a as an Ashkenazi Jew, I use the same with schmaltz though. It's chicken fat. I shave with
Oh,
chicken fat. I use it as lube. It's a hair product.
I think chicken fat as hair product can be a trend that will take off. Once salt water became a thing, it's like I think anything goes.
You've
Anything
spoken
goes.
too soon. Beef tallow hair pomade is in my algorithm right now, and it is not has nothing to do with being Jewish. It has to do purely with being a man.
Can I tell you, I dated a girl for a little bit, a woman, a young lady.
Oh, well, well.
And she wore the beef tallow face moisturizer. And I was like, you smell like steak to me. Like you smell like raw beef. And she was like, no, you can't smell it. They mix it with essential oils. I'm like, okay, no, you smell like a steak that's been left out in eucalyptus.
Yeah,
But
rosemary
it's
beef.
you taste you taste like rosemary beef. And it was such a turnoff. And she wouldn't change it because she was like, no, it's good for me. And I was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this for.
I
And
love the idea of
she's
caring
dead.
so
I
much about
grilled
the
her.
way.
I grilled her.
I love the idea of caring so much about the way you look and age so that you can stay young and beautiful, that you repel any potential suitors so that you can be young and beautiful all by yourself in your beef castle.
She is. She's up there in her beef castle, looking great, but
Yes.
reeking of tallow. I mean,
So
tallow.
I was saying before, I don't know what happened. I don't necessarily go with diet trends, but the seed oil messaging from in my algorithm, uh,
Hmm.
did a number on me. I started to think maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I need to go back to butter. And so this is a remnant of another time, this earth balance. Every time I use earth balance now, I feel like I'm doing something bad to my body and that I should just be sticking with the real thing.
I feel like that's in my 20 years on this earth. I feel like that's what I've seen. Is that we always go to a trend and then we're like, nope, go back to basics. Trend, go back to basics, go back to natural. And the seed oil is just the latest thing. It's like, although I don't know, I haven't done a deep dive on it, but like, who gives a fuck about seed oils? I mean, it's the same as like high fructose corn syrup. Sure, it's not the best thing, but like, do we need to go to war over it? I don't know.
I did hear about ultra processed foods recently, like I mean, obviously I knew what they were, but I never thought about what they were, if that makes sense. Like,
Mm,
and that 80% of the foods that are available in a supermarket are ultra processed foods, and that an ultra processed food is just basically anything that has ingredients in it that you couldn't make in your kitchen, anytime you
right,
see
right.
and that also did a number on me. I know I'm sounding a bit like I'm a back to basics sort of keto paleo warrior who's like doing an ice bath and eating a raw steak cooked in butter every day or an elk steak. I'm not. I love I love I love a taki. I love a sour cherry ball with red 40. I don't want them to ban red 40 because all of my favorite things have red 40 in them.
Really?
I
Wait,
love
what
a
has
red
Red
40.
40 that tell what is it? What is it about? I didn't even know anything about Red 40. And then they're like, the things I'm reading are like this Red 40 can like really do a number on you. They're like it,
Well,
it,
what's
it
weird is
shrinks your balls,
well,
it'll
mine
it'll
were
it'll
huge.
it'll
Mine
cheat on your
mine were huge.
wife.
I've had very like sort of unusually large balls my whole life since my bar
Mm,
mitzvah, and so
mm.
I've been eating red 40 to kind of try to do a biohacking thing to get them down to regular size, and
Yeah.
they're still gigantic, but they're a lot smaller than they once were.
That is a thing that happens in your bar mitzvah. All you non-Jews listening, your rabbi looks at your
Mm-hmm.
balls, and there's
Mm-hmm.
like
Yep.
a ruler in the Talmud. It's like a page that's just a
Yep.
ruler, a ball ruler, and you
Yep.
kind of put it on it, and then if it goes past that number, you get the red 40, like Moses.
Right.
It was on the tablets,
Yeah,
and you
it's from the Red Sea.
the Red Sea is that what used to
It's
be full of red 40, is what it
Yeah, it
was.
was 40 ounces of Red Sea water is what Red 40
Mm,
actually is. So you drink a
right.
40 of Red Sea water and slowly, yeah, they call that the cupping ceremony. That's so crazy that you were willing to talk about that. A lot of Jews kind of don't like to bring that stuff out to a
Yeah.
wider audience, and it's brave of you to do it.
Well, they say Torat Emet, which means that what's in the Torah, you get the good, you get the bad, you get it all. So,
Sure.
um, you have a lot of there now that you said the red 40, I'm seeing a lot of red. I'm seeing you've got a lot of ketchup, you got the sriracha. Again, he turned it backwards because it is a sign of wealth to show that you have sriracha even through the sriracha shortage.
Hey,
Um,
by the way, I heard about, did you hear what happened with sriracha? Maybe you've covered this already, but I just found this out. The, the reason sriracha is not good anymore and a different color and not as tasty as it once was is that sriracha, whatever peppers they use, they had like a farm in California that made all their peppers. Have you talked about this already on your podcast?
I mean, I believe we touched upon the fact that there was the great sriracha shortage because they didn't diversify their sriracha portfolio. All the peppers were like one farm, and that farm got fucked.
No, well, what I heard was it's a deeper conspiracy than that. It was
Oh,
all
tell
one
me.
farm. There was all one farm in California that would make their peppers, and that is why it had a uniform color and a uniform flavor, and the sriracha we've all come to love. And then
Hmm.
sriracha, realizing that it was becoming the hot sauce king of the United States Asian community and beyond, literally everyone had it, said, you know what, we don't want to pay sriracha prices. We're the kings here.
Hmm.
We've got a monopoly, and you're going to sell us these peppers at a newly very mafia style at a newly agreed upon price. And the farm said, "Go fuck yourself, Sriracha," and said we won't do that. So then Sriracha was forced to scramble to find other sources of this pepper that do not have the uniform color, quality, and flavor, and that is why sriracha went through a shortage. Why its color is no longer uniform and stable. And apparently, we could look this up in real time. The farm that made the original sriracha pepper makes a sriracha of their very own now. And so you can get the OG sriracha, but it will not have the cock on it and it will not have the Vietnamese writing on it. It will look like white people making a sriracha, which I think we all can agree nobody wants anything to do with that, but it's actually the good stuff.
Wow. I should also let you get full disclosure. Moshe is sponsored by Tabasco.
That's
So
right.
I that's crazy, but yes, I did. It is a sign of having. It's lonely at the top. He was the king. This guy who started it in like where did he started this in like Cerritos or something, I believe.
Yeah, Southern California.
Yeah.
I think it's the Vietnamese community of like, there's like a huge Vietnamese community in like Southern LA, Orange County, and I
Yes.
believe it is in
Yes.
that sort of zone.
They came after the Vietnam or during the Vietnam War. They came as like refugees. What that book is about. That they turned into a show. What's that book that they turned into a show? There was a
I'm
book
so,
and then it
it
became a
where
show.
Robert Downey Jr. played like nine gay
Yes.
men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was
It
called
was like the
The
Nutty
Sympathizer.
Professor,
The
the
Sympathizer.
sympathizer. And Robert Downey Jr. is doing a straight up Nutty Professor, like Big Mama's house. Like every other scene, he's in a new outfit, playing a new character. Anyway, that's all about the
Well,
origins of Sriracha in Southern California.
I think that was because they shot that during the SAG strike and they were like, we can only afford one actor. He's got to do it all.
No, I think it's because I could be wrong, but it seemed very obvious because it's executive produced by Robert Downey Jr. that he's like, listen, I'll get this show made, I'll do it, but I am going to do a very unique acting exercise, and this is going to be very distracting. But you know what? I've been a movie star for 40 years, so I'm going to basically do what I want here.
Yeah. He's like, I was the last person to do blackface on a movie, and I will continue in that tradition.
That's right. He's like, blackface is no longer acceptable, but you know what is? Gay face, and I'm going to be doing that.
Gay face, by the way, also more fun with canola oil.
Sure.
So on our second row here, we have some rolls, focaccia. Is that a focaccia rolls?
A lot of this can be explained by our trip to Costco, okay? A
Yeah,
lot of this
yeah.
is Costco. Those were hot dog French rolls that we got that were, when you go to Costco, it seems like a really good idea to go do a group shopping trip at Costco because you're like, I'll be able to buy the stuff for cheaper for the big group.
Yes.
But it actually ends up going the opposite direction because you're so panicked that you start buying. I bought 132 Hebrew National hot dogs. There's no possibility. There were 28 people coming to this. Who's eating 4 hot dogs? But I panicked like we're not going to have enough hot dogs. And so I went for it.
132. Is that number like high? Like, do you have to have a high number of Hebrew? It's like-
No, because
it's-
one thing that is not in our tradition is wasting money on kosher hot dogs.
yes.
And then they went bad, and then I threw them away, and I feel terrible.
Yeah. What is this up here?
You don't know what that is?
Is that a coconut?
Buddy, that's a young coconut.
Whoa.
The creepiest sounding fruit one can buy. Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I went to the co-op the other day. You know what I got? Got me a
Mm.
young coconut.
Ooh, barely legal. Yeah,
Yeah.
you go to the co-op to get your young coconut, and then what's his name walks in? Who's the To Catch a Predator guy?
Chris Hansen. Chris
Yeah, hi, I'm
Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
The young
Did you know how
coconut is yelling at
old?
you. Hold on, I'm just making some macaroons. Hold on. That's the weird part of that show to me, is they're always making cookies. If you're, I don't know who your listeners are, Dan, but if you are a child predator,
There,
um,
that's by the way,
uh,
that's 60% of my listeners.
I bet. I had a feeling. If you
Yeah.
do, if you're, I don't act on your plan, put yourself in prison, do chemical castration. But if you're
Mm.
not, and you walk in, and the person who you've been grooming is saying, "Hold on, I'm making cookies," you're going to jail. You
Yeah.
are going to jail.
As much as you want those cookies, turn around and start running. As much as
Listen,
you want those
I
cookies.
own. this is a breaking news for the pod. I've only ever dated adults, but I've never
Heard it here
walked
first.
into a sexual situation and had an adult woman say, "Hold on, I'll be right there. I'm just finishing baking cookies."
No. You know what? You know what adult women say? They say, "Hold on, I'm putting beef tallow on my face. I'll be right
That's
out."
right.
I also love that in To Catch a Predator, the predators would always be, they'd always have like a six pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade. Like that was the predator drink of choice because
Oh, that makes
it,
sense to me, actually.
I know because it's like it tastes sugary and it's sweet, and you're gonna assume this child is gonna love this. I mean, it was really poor advertising for Mike's Hard Lemonade, I thought.
Right. Mike's Hard Lemonade. Get a young coconut and pour it in.
Now in young coconut flavor. This is, dude, I'm like very envious and jealous of this fridge because you also have like, yes, you have a lot of Costco stuff, whatever, but you have a lot of deep cut, cool um, things as well. I'm gonna go right to this Red Boat. Red Boat fish sauce is probably my favorite fish sauce brand that you can get, and a lot of people aren't hip to it.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't know why I have that. I do like a
Okay.
fish sauce, but I think I've cooked with it once. I'm actually shocked at how low the level is in that bottle because I don't really know how to cook with fish sauce. But I like that it's prominently displayed, and I felt a real sense of pride when you said it was your favorite fish sauce brand. It made me feel like I was doing something right.
Wait, so is this just virtue signaling? Is this just a
I
virtue
guess it is.
signaling Red
That's what I
Boat?
do. Yeah, when I'm coming on a food podcast, I'll go buy a bunch of like really deep cut ethnic sauces, pour a bit out so it looks like I've been active with it, and just shove it in the front.
Ooh, I see some gochujang. Um,
I love gochujang. Whatever it is, I love it.
you do have this also my favorite of the chili crisp, the Fly by Jing. Fly by Jing, is that what it's called? I think so.
Yes, that I
Um,
do use.
yes, that's good stuff. That's
Actually,
good
there
stuff.
is a better chili crisp. I wonder if I have it in there. And it's more authentic. It's the one with like a grandma on it. My friend
Yes.
Jessica Gao turned me on to it. She's like, don't. Well, she didn't say anything bad about Fly by Jing, but Fly by Jing
Hmm.
is very expensive. And the grandma one is like OG real China, and it's much cheaper and just as good, if not better.
I wish them so much success that one day they can no longer get the chilies that made them famous. Um,
Amen. Amen.
Jessica Gao, friend of the pod, we brought up a lot. We talked a lot of chili crisp on here.
Yeah, she's a
So
chili crisp aficionado, so much so that at her wedding, she gave everybody chili crisp as a parting gift. And I thought that was a great and classy move.
that's great. It's classy. It makes me happy. Also sad because now I realize that I wasn't invited to Jessica's wedding.
You know, while I was telling you that anecdote, I panicked about this very possibility, and I'm not happy with the way it turned out.
Rightfully so. Is there anything that I'm, well, what is this box on the top of your fridge? There's a huge box.
That
Is that a,
also is a That's also a bit of a virtue signal. It's just there for absolutely no reason. It's not there so that you could see it, but it is a box that the George Harrison estate sent Natasha and I for being in the 40th anniversary video of All Things Must Pass. And it was filled with, do you want me to show you what it was filled with? Hold on.
yes?
It'll be worth it. Wait one sec.
Wow. This is cool. This is a Green Eggs and Dan exclusive. Moshe is getting up to go and get the box while. Oh, here he comes.
Now, I'm not certain if you know what the All Things Must Pass album cover looked like, but it's George Harrison sitting in a field with these like little gnomes and stuff, and
Okay.
they actually sent us these actual figurines from the album cover, and
Wow.
that's real George Harrison. Well, that's not real George Harrison. This is actually
No.
not George Harrison because
He's
he's
dead, isn't
dead.
he? He's dead.
He's
Is
dead,
that
and
made
he
out of his
also
ashes?
it
It
could
looks like
be.
it could be made of out of his ashes.
I'm not positive, but look at him up there. Look at his peaceful countenance, you know?
Yeah.
He's while my guitar gently weeps over here. But anyway, yeah, isn't that cool? The George Harrison estate sent us that, and it's really neat. It's a
That
prized
is so
possession.
cool. If you're listening from the George Harrison estate, I'm sure that most people are receiving this wonderful, beautiful gesture and featuring it prominently on a mantle, on a
No,
some sort
no.
of bookshelf. But no, Moshe has it still boxed up on top of his fridge.
No, just
Yeah.
the boxes there. The
Uh,
figurines are prominently displayed in a very nice way in my home.
oh, that makes it better though. Then he didn't even throw out the box. He kept the box.
Exactly, but I don't know what to do with it. What do you do with the box? I can't throw it away because it's one of a kind, but it also has no real function. So there it sits.
eBay.
Yeah, just the box.
Yeah.
Actually, you can sell. My friend Brent Weinbach, very funny comedian, who I think you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
He has, I believe, sold just the box to a video game for an amount that would shock you.
Really?
Yeah, like yeah, you can do
What
that
amount?
with the
I'm
right.
curious.
I don't know the amount, but it's certainly more than hundreds.
Hmm. It's funny. I probably should not be talking about this, but I had a guest on this podcast, Nathan Myhrvold. You know who Nathan Myhrvold is? He
I
was
don't.
like, he's a billionaire from Microsoft, and then decided to just take his money and become like the biggest food nerd possible. And he makes these cookbooks that they're more just like they're like more food encyclopedias, and he shoots them with the craziest cameras and angles and like just taking all this money that could be going to like poverty-stricken places is focused to taking
Sure.
the best food picks ever. And I'm here for it. All right. Great books, really fun. But he sent me a set of his books, and the books are like $500 for like a set. And it's enormous. It's about the size of that box. And I don't know what to do with it because I can't put it like they're like too big to put
Right.
anywhere. And I
It's
feel
one of
like I
those
don't
Taschen style books.
it's even big. I mean, there's like five of them in a set, and then they're like in a big metal box. Like I I don't do you want it? Do you want to put it on top of your
Yeah, I
fridge?
want it. I'll trade you. You know what? I'll trade you some of this bullshit from the George Harrison estate if you want.
Oh my
I'll just do a
God.
straight trade.
You can't say that.
No, you know what I'll give you? You know what I can offer you? I can
What?
offer you one unopened and two opened bottles of maple syrup for the
Wow.
Nathan Murgold box set.
There's a maple syrup shortage right now, and we know where it's all going. Those prices are going to
Is
go
there in
up
fact?
once. No, but I'm sure I imagine these Canada tariffs are going to do. Is that why you're are you
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you
that's why I'm
saving,
saving.
getting ready for
It's
the
the
Canada tariffs?
it's the toilet paper of the early COVID days. I'm
If you're
getting
listening
ready
now,
for.
get your maple syrup, guys. There's going to be a shortage. I feel like I love the idea of having maple syrup. I never use the maple syrup when I have it. Um,
Wait, it's fish. It's fish sauce to you, basically.
it's Canadian fish sauce to me. It is
How
Canadian
often
fish
do you use
sauce.
fish sauce versus maple syrup? I feel like maple syrup is so much easier to use.
It's so funny. I think I would probably use fish sauce a lot more. I'm doing a lot of, as a single dude, you're doing a lot of stir fries. You have
Hmm.
kids. Kids, it's a whole other dimension of sweet that you need to have around the house.
That is true, but let me tell you about my kid because you're gonna love it. Okay,
Yeah.
every single person loves talking about a person's kid.
You know what
I'm
I do?
reluctant.
Do you know what I do when my friends start talking about their kids? You know what I do? Can I
Yeah,
show you? You're gonna like
stop
this.
listening.
You have this is what I do. I take out a 30
Okay,
second
listen,
timer.
I'll take the 30 seconds because I think that it actually, you'll be interested. Now, it's
Yeah.
not fair that you're counting my time right now because I haven't started talking about my kid yet. I'm talking about the
18.
process of talk. Okay, she's not picky the way you think kids are. She's got an extremely developed palate. She likes eating uni fresh out of the body. She likes carcass-based uni. She likes octopus sushi. She likes caviar. She's got the taste buds of Natasha Leggero,
And
ladies
we're
and gentlemen.
done. Tell us about this ketchup that you have in your. No, that's pretty cool. Because I do think that that is a reflection on the parents. Like when people are like, "Oh, my kid is such a picky eater." It's like, "Yeah, you made your kid a fucking picky eater."
Well, that's what
right?
I was thinking. I was very grateful when she started eating this weird shit that, oh, I didn't get a picky eater. And I've started to realize I actually did get a picky eater just in a very specific, hyper snobby Los Angeles child way. Like, she won't eat most things, but the things she will eat do cost like 22.99 a pound or above. Like, she's
Right.
got the snobbiest taste possible.
Right. She's like, I don't want this farmed salmon. Get me some Ora King
Yeah.
salmon.
No, it's not. You're almost verbatim doing an impression of her.
I like it. I want a kid. If I could be guaranteed a kid like that, I would take the condoms off.
I
I would
think
take
you're
the
right,
condoms
though,
off.
that, well, you're already using olive oil as lube. It's breaking down the latex anyway, so you don't need to take the condoms off. Listen, I think you would be guaranteed a kid like that because I think mostly you're right. The reason she likes that stuff is because we have always tried to indoctrinate her into adventurous eating because it was
Yeah.
important to us. I just am, it is. I couldn't have one of these fucking macaroni and cheese kids. Like, it would just drive me crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Where they eat like chicken tenders, mac and cheese, buttered pasta, and toast, and that anything white and flour they're down with and nothing else. I couldn't eat like that. I'm always like, what do children in India eat? They eat Indian food. There's no
Right.
way that little kids in India are like mac and cheese only, mother. Like, it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not. They're eating
Yeah.
curry.
Yeah. It's crazy. I've gone on dates with like adults, adult women.
Very
Uh,
cool.
and thank you. And they like I went on a date with this one girl and she was like had those same tastes and she was like almost wore it as a badge of honor. She's like, I eat like a kid, like chicken fingers and pizza. I'm
Yeah.
like, what a boring life you live,
Get
you
out of
know?
here. Just get out
Put
of
some
here.
tallow on your face. Um,
Get some chili crisp. Put some chili crisp on your face.
get some old lady chili crisp. Get some
Yeah.
grandma's face chili crisp and put on your face. Um, Yeah, when I do meet the right lady and we are having a child, because you got to start them young. You got to start them young. I'm gonna be in that delivery room, and as soon as I see that head crowning, I'm just gonna take out a jar of peanut butter and just start putting it on the head. Take the peanut butter on the head as the baby's coming out. It's gonna slather it in peanut butter. I don't want no peanut allergy kid. Okay?
Oh, well, I'm sure you know about, I thought you were going to say you're just going to start splashing fish sauce on its face just to kind of get it in the sort of Asian stir fry zone. But
Right.
you know about the peanut allergy Bamba anecdote? Are you familiar with this?
Wonderful anecdote. Please share it with the with the Green Eggs and Dan crowd.
Well, apparently, apparently, there was this panic about peanut allergies in American public schools in I think like the 90s or early 2000s. And so they made all these schools not have peanuts, which had the opposite of to protect the 1 out of 100 children that might have a peanut allergy and might get sick. And it had a terrible effect, which is that it actually engendered peanut allergies to grow in the American youth because none of them were eating peanut butter, none of them were eating peanuts from such a young age, and they did this. And so the number went from like 1 out of 100 to a much higher number. I would be making up the statistic if I told you. And then they
Give it to
did
us. Make it
this.
up. Make it
Oh,
up.
sure. It went from 1 out of 100 to something like 20 out of 100. And that's statistical
Wow.
fact. That's actually the precise number that it went to.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
then they looked at Israel, which everybody looks at Israel. I mean, Israel's I would say, the place to look for sort of anything when you're looking to the way to act. And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
they realized that peanut allergies are basically not known in Israel. And a big part of it is because they all eat this fucking Cheeto snack called Bamba, which is available
Hmm.
at Trader Joe's now. Bamba, which is basically peanut butter Cheetos. Every little kid eats it because it's very easy to suck on when you're teething. It's like a teething tool in Israel, and they basically have zero rate of peanut allergy because they start them young. And so they
Right.
did, and they've done the trials in America using this snack with very early, just what you're saying, smearing the peanut butter on the baby as it's crowning, and it basically takes away most, not all, peanut allergy. Essentially, we've created the peanut allergy.
As they say on, as you see the footage coming from university students these days, from the river to the sea, peanut allergies will be free.
Yeah, we will be
That
free of
is,
peanut
we will be
allergy.
free of peanut allergy from the river
Yeah,
to the
that's
sea.
nice. That's that ring.
Yes.
That's got a nice sort of slogan-esque ring to it. I like it.
All right, let's get to our rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I
Did you
am
even see these
ready.
questions? Did you see them?
I didn't get
Because
no.
oh my
I'm
God.
excited though.
Monica,
I did.
I
Monica,
knew it.
Monica, you're fired.
Don't blame
It's
me.
almost.
Let
It's
it be a
almost definitely.
surprise.
It's almost definitely not Monica's fault. If you look at my fridge one more time, let's pull it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
hold on one
Let's
second.
pull it up. Now, I don't know Monica. I don't know her
Yeah.
level of professionalism, but I know
Oh,
myself. I'm
it's
not
not
looking
good.
at that. Don't worry. I know
Okay.
myself. Now, if you look at this fridge, what what brain neurodiversity does this suggest I might suffer from just by looking at the fridge?
Genius.
Definitely, but I would say with a little sprinkle of ADHD. Now,
Yes.
this makes me feel strongly that Monica did everything she was supposed to have done, and I somehow missed it in the deluge of emails because that is one of the afflictions that I have. Now, do I love a good meal? Yes. Do I love a good fish sauce? Yes. Do I scan an email and forget to read every part of it? Hey, that's just a part of the mosaic of me.
Listen, don't apologize for Monica.
Okay.
If anyone's listening and they want to be the Monica replacement,
Wow.
please email Monica at
It's so
gmail.com.
funny, Dan, because I play a similar game with the producer of my podcast. Her name is Laura, and we call her Toxic Producer Laura, and it's a running gag on the Endless Honeymoon podcast, which you should definitely come on. That Laura's about to get fired. So, Monica, you're in very good company, and Laura is the picture of professionalism, and I'm sure you are too.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm taking Monica off of the call. Here we go. Number one, earliest food memory. By the way, listeners, you're just getting these off the dome. He hasn't prepared. It's gonna
Oh
be fun.
God, I feel bad now. Earliest food memory. We used to eat cheese tacos and cottage cheese and noodles. Those are the comfort food of my childhood. Um, and cheese tacos were quesadillas. I don't know why we called them cheese tacos, but we did.
Mm.
And egg noodles with cottage cheese and spike. Those are my earliest memories of what felt like comforting food.
Wait, what's Spike?
You don't know about Spike? Now this is breaking news for you. Gaylord and
Yeah.
Hauser. Are you familiar with Gaylord and Hauser? Now Gaylord was what they used to call you in junior high school, and Hauser was what
Hey.
I became when I started going to raves. No, Gaylord and Hauser is like a hippie spice company, and they
Okay.
make, I would say, the best lemon pepper. You know that lemon pepper that you get from like a Costco or like a big box supermarket that tastes very strange and artificial?
Yes.
This is not that. This is like the
Okay.
best lemon pepper you could ever have. And Spike is their like sort of proprietary blend of like it's just a hippie spice. It's a salt with a million different herbs and spices in it. Actually, I would say Spike is maybe my earliest food memory. We were real
Wow.
hippies growing up.
It sounds like Spike is the Democrat version of Lowry's seasoning. Lowry's seasoning is like the Republican thing, and
Yes,
Spike
yes.
is it left wing, right wing? If I had to break them apart like that,
That feels correct. Lowry's is here to make spices great again, and
yeah.
and Gaylord and Hauser is in an ideological war with the Lowry family. Gaylord and Hauser is like one of these like hippie companies where like the weird picture of the proprietor is on the cover, and that's part of the Dr. Bronner's, Gaylord and Hauser, Bragg's. It's all of a
Got it.
kind, and
Oh,
um,
okay.
and so I grew up eating that kind of food. We were very poor growing up, on welfare, food stamp kids, but my mom always found a way to make my lunch. You know how poor kids often get like Capri Suns, processed foods, Cheez-Its, Doritos, stuff like that. Like that's the
I
kind of like,
Right. I don't know
that's the
because I grew
food
up I
desert.
grew up pretty rich, but okay.
Okay, great, good for you. Well, the food desert stereotype is that underprivileged kids are given processed foods, high fat, high sugar foods. I got both poverty and horrifying, disgusting, no fun lunches. Uh, Grainy, multigrain bread with chunky hand ground peanut butter, pineapple juice with the sticker that you had to peel off the stainless steel can. My lunches were a
Yeah.
fucking nightmare, but it turned me into a conscientious, healthy eater as an adult, and so I'm grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Thank you
Yeah.
for the
I feel grateful
sacrifices
for
you
it
made.
now. At the time, though, not so much. Carob, you don't know about any of this stuff, do you? Carob.
I think I know about Is carob is it like a some reason I'm picturing tamarind, and is it like in that family?
It's a
No, it's a
chocolate
root.
substitute. It's a
Okay,
chocolate
that's right.
substitute. My friend Arj Barker used to have a joke. He goes, "You remember carob? Looks like chocolate, tastes like shit." And that is pretty damn accurate. So those are my earliest food memories. Are hippie foods that I would be embarrassed for my friends to see. And we had mochi, but not the mochi
Really?
that you know and love, not the mochi that you think of. It was a
Okay.
hardened slab of like rock hard rice. I don't know what it was, and you would put it into the oven or the microwave oven. It would puff up really big. It didn't taste anything like the fun mochi that you know from the candy shop. It was a real horror, but I am grateful
Wow.
for it today.
Sounds, you're like, she almost killed me with these awful, awful ingredients. But thank you, Mom. I love you.
But then, my dad would won visitation rights to see us, and I flew home I flew to New York, and his house was just a junk food, kosher food extravaganza with beef and gummies and jelly rings and every kosher monstrosity you could imagine, jelly rings and rainbow cookies, and it was like going to Mount Sinai.
Wow. Okay. This just you see, guys, just from that earliest food memory, we got so much. We've got a broken household. We've got food stamps. We've got visitation rights, court cases. We've learned so much
Hmm.
about you just by your earliest food memories.
Well, Jews on welfare, very rare, guys.
Jews on Welfare also is the name of Moshe's one-man show coming out.
That's
Uh,
right. All right,
okay,
what's
what is
next? Sorry, that wasn't
next?
rapid. That wasn't rapid. I'll make it
No,
more
that's
rapid.
fine. I love it. It doesn't have to be that rapid. What is your death row meal? So you're on death row. Let's figure out a good reason for you to be on death row. Maybe because you called a quesadilla a
A cheese taco.
cheese taco, and they were like, "This will
And the
not stand."
Mexican community rose up and executed me. I
Yes,
can understand that.
yeah.
But I
So
will
now
say my
you're
my I will say my death row meal. I hesitate to say it because what I would really want would be a very fast meal. I would be upset, but it would be a Gordo's bean and cheese burrito from Berkeley, California, and San Francisco, California. I would get two of them. And my order is always the same at Gordo's. It's the greatest. It is the greatest. And it's a divisive, the burrito is a very hot topic in the Bay Area. What's your favorite burrito? Gordo's is an unusual choice, but I think the correct choice. And so my order is always the same: bean and cheese, extra guacamole, extra pico de gallo, extra hot sauce. It is the greatest. They steam the cheese on the quesadilla in a tortilla steamer so that it comes out ooey and gooey, and that would be my death row meal. Yeah. And
I'm
some sour cherry balls for dessert.
I'm looking up Gordo's Taqueria. There's a couple of locations. They all have 3 to 3.5 stars on Yelp, everyone.
Just
So
incorrect.
this
Just
is
not.
this is your death row meal. You can have anything in the world, and you're going for a 3.5 star Yelp.
I've eaten it. I don't care what some stranger on Yelp had to say about it. I've eaten it. My friend Ari Gold says the best burrito in San Francisco, the two best burritos in San Francisco are Gordo's Taqueria. Then leave Gordo's, walk around the corner, go back to Gordo's and get another one.
The that flex of steaming the tortilla with the cheese on it. I've had that one other place. I don't think there's anywhere in LA that does that, which is crazy to me because there's a
LA's
lot of
burritos
Mexican
are
restaurants.
trash.
It's so
LA's
crazy.
burritos are trash. We don't have. It's not a burrito town.
I
It's a
like when
taco town.
you turn into Trump voice. LA's burritos are trash.
Garbage. There's nothing to it. We're getting rid of them. No, LA has unbelievable Mexican food. Obviously, it used to be Mexico, but it is not a burrito town in the way that the Bay Area is.
Yeah.
LA, the tacos are amazing. The high-end Mexican is amazing. And birria, all that stuff. I'm sure birria is amazing. I've never had it because of my incredibly annoying Jewish diet. But there is a
It's very
burrito.
good.
There is a burrito in Los Angeles that is very good and very LA, and I have a funny story about it, and it relates to my Jew.
Don't
I
say
was
Koufax.
no, I
Okay.
was going to. There's a place called Allenby's in Boyle Heights, which
Okay.
has the most unbelievable bean and cheese burrito you'll ever, and it's very LA. It's like a super Chicano place. Like it's been there forever. Like it's what I mean by very LA is it's like they have a hot dog burrito. It's very like Mexican American food, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's very old school, and their bean and cheese is so good. It's just refried beans, like a handful of cheddar cheese, and then they have two hot sauces. You can choose red or green. The green is hot. It's a hot salsa, like a cooked salsa ladled out of a crock pot, and so I would get both. The red is a cold one, but it's so good. I would go every Sunday with Natasha to get this unbelievable bean and cheese. I mean, it's so unbelievable. And then I
Wow.
made the mistake of telling another Jewish friend, I know this place with the most unbelievable, like otherworldly, orgasmic bean and cheese burrito. And he goes, orgasmic beans? He goes, no, they don't make orgasmic beans. That's pork, dude. And I was like, and the minute he said it, I was like, the truth of how obvious it was, just like it was just so starkly true. Of course it's pork. Beans don't taste that good. And I was like, why would you tell me that? Why? And we called Allenby's. We were like, do these beans have pork? And they were like, yeah, we're sorry, they do. And I haven't been back since. But I really recommend it if you're a pork man.
Oh man, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'll go there. I'll FaceTime you from there and just
Do
I'll describe the flavors to you again. I'll get you. That'll be my mitzvah to you.
It was so good, and it was so like the joy that he experienced. There's a certain joy that a Jew that doesn't keep kosher like takes in robbing someone like me, like a hypocrite who's like hodgepodge some fake version of kosher for my life today, and
Yeah.
taking one of my pleasures away from me. I saw there was a real joy in that, and I can feel it in you right now, Dan. And you're gonna go eat it, and you're gonna love it.
No, no, man. I wish you could have that joy. I get it because I used to be a non-porker as well. And I remember a meal that I had in Italy where I was like, oh my God. And here's what it was. It was a slice, it was like a cross-section slice of apple. Okay. So a
Uh-huh.
tiny sliver of apple. It was like a salad course. And it was like a piece of lettuce under it or whatever. And I'm cutting into this and I'm like, why is this the best apple I ever had? And there was like a tiny, same exact circular size as the apple thing of prosciutto right under it. That
Of
was like
course.
crispy
Yeah.
prosciutto.
Of course. Now, by the way, how firm a repudiation of our religious background is it that when we both bit into the forbidden fruit, you literally had forbidden fruit. We both screamed out, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
Judaism is fake. If you're calling out to God the minute you taste pork, there's no argument for Judaism. What am I doing to myself? By the way, there's zero part of me that thinks that there is a God that's like, which meat did you eat? I mean, like zero part. So I
The
don't even know
argument
why I do it.
Here's the argument. The argument is God probably thought, if you eat this food, then you might like it more than me. So no,
Uh-huh.
I want to keep this freaking delicious animal away from you.
By the
What
way,
is
when you bit into the prosciutto, you said, my God. You said,
Mm,
this is my God. This
yeah.
crispy piece of
Oh,
prosciutto, that's
it
my
was
God.
it was oh, comma, my God.
My
Oh,
new
my
God. I
God.
have found it.
What is the best high-end meal you've ever had?
That's a great question. I'll answer by saying this year I decided I think I might be done with extreme high-end food. I went
Mm-hmm.
to a two Michelin star place in Nice, and it was great, but it was unbelievable and wild, but
Yeah.
I left going like, it wasn't that delicious. It was unbelievably expensive. It was very innovative, but I didn't, almost none of it was I like I felt when
Yeah.
I ate the Alan B's burrito. That
Yeah.
said, I have a lot of amazing memories of a lot of high-end meals. I grew up very poor, as I said, and weirdly, what I would ask my mother for on my birthday was to take me to a fancy restaurant. And we would eat at Oliveto, which was an Italian place that was started by the former sous chef at Chez Panisse. And we would eat at a place called Chef Paul's that was on my street growing up. Like once a year, my splurge would be to go to a high-end restaurant.
I
And I've
love
had
it.
some pretty unbelievable memories. I would say Alenia is definitely up there for
Yeah.
like most memorable meals I've ever had. That was a wild meal, and it felt really worth it in the way that sometimes just a meal doesn't, because I was like, oh, I'm at a show. I'm at an artist's performance. And
Yeah.
I guess that could be said for any high-end Michelin star level restaurant, but that felt like I'm going to a Vegas show. The ticket price was worth it because this is a Vegas show and I'm seeing a master at
Yes.
work. That was really cool. Gary Danko in San Francisco, that was a pretty memorable one. The currently canceled Italian food master Mario Batali,
Yeah.
his restaurant Babbo
Babo.
in
Yeah.
yeah, that was a pretty unbelievable, I will never forget meal. Um, and there are specifics from each of those meals that I could probably pull out, specific dishes that I remember to this day, even though they were all a decade or more ago.
From the Babo meal?
Just from all of those
Oh,
meals.
from all of them.
Gary,
Yes. I'm with, can I tell you, I also have fine dining fatigue and I'm kind of over it. I also think though that I feel like the fine dining restaurants in America as a whole are better than the fine dining restaurants in Europe. I've been to
yeah.
many of the two, three Michelin star places in Europe. There's something missing. I mean, I know I'm gonna get, pilloried for this, but there's something that you don't, I don't know, maybe it's like the American showmanship or going too far. I don't know what it is, but like I do think that I was hyper underwhelmed by my three-star Michelin restaurants in Europe, more so than the ones in America. But one star, man, one Michelin star, that's the sweet spot for me.
Exactly. And by the way, um, ethnic fancy, I'm still interested.
Yeah, ethnic
If it's
fancy
a
fun.
how many smoked goat cheese beet salad ahi tuna tartar, it's like I get it, I've had it. But if I go to an Indian high end or
Yeah,
African high end, now I'm experiencing new flavors and I'm experiencing like an artist within that framework.
yeah.
I'm more interested. I'm back in. But yeah, you're right. One Michelin star, or even, you know what? I'll go further. Whatever that weird list is that they do, where they're like, we're just checking it out. It's kind of interesting. No
The
stars, but
bib.
we're like looking at it. That
We were outside
that's the
peeking
good
in.
stuff.
Looked good. It looked
Yeah,
good from the
it
outside.
looks good.
That is the Bib Gourmand. Yeah, I like a Bib Gourmand, yes, restaurant. So best low end meal you've ever had. I'm probably gonna. I'm assuming it was that Forbidden Bean burrito.
That's in there, but I'll tell you the great pleasure of my food life is living in Los Angeles and going to the San Gabriel Valley for Szechuan food. I Nothing I've ever had in any Michelin star has equaled the unbelievable flavors that I have at Chongqing Noodle House. The Yupo noodles are one of the most unfathomably delicious thing I've ever had in my life. The impression noodles at Szechuan Impression in the San Gabriel Valley. The sweet and sour chili cabbage at Chengdu Taste. I mean, it is the great culinary delight of Southern California. And so I would definitely say all three of those places, but just the entire community of the San Gabriel Valley.
Wow. I have to get your list of restaurants there because it's kind of a blind spot for me. And I think Jimmy Oyang was recently at a place out there that's like super fancy Peking duck, and it looked so good.
Yeah, I like Peking duck. It's fine, but to me, where I really
Wow.
like
Wow. It's
the
fine. It's
it's
fine.
not. I love it. I
Wow.
like it. I like it. It's not my favorite. Where I get kind of transported is in the world of like super saucy super spicy Szechuan. That's where I really kind of like start to float above my chair in a kind of
Yeah.
ecstasy. If it's addled with MSG and
Yeah.
peppers and I'm sweating and they have, these restaurants, they have like a special juice, a plum juice that tastes like barbecue sauce that you specifically drink to numb the spice. Like to me, there is no more orgasmic, ecstasy addled dining experience than sweating at a like greasy hole in the wall in the San Gabriel Valley.
Wow. Yeah, I'm with you. You just hyped me up. You just got
I'm gonna
me
send you a list. I
ready
got
for
you.
some Sichuan. You know, Sichuan peppercorns were like illegal to bring into America until like the early 2000s.
Yeah, and I've heard, I don't know that this is true, but I've heard that they are intermittently illegal still. So like from week to week, you'll go to the Chinese peppercorn place and be like, "What's up? We got that shit?" And they're like, "Nah, it's not like that this week. Come back next week."
I love it. Do you have a favorite dessert?
Oh man, I love dessert a lot. I
Mm,
um I have a lot of favorite desserts. But I could say my favorite. I could shout one out at a restaurant. I could tell you the apple fritters are one of the greatest desserts of all time. I would say
interesting.
a hot plain glazed donut is one of the greatest desserts of all time. I love a meringue. I love
Hold on,
a
you're
creme
you're you're
brulee.
going fast. You're going fast. You're going fast. I want to take one of these at a time. You're throwing the. Do you think that the McDonald's, the old school McDonald's apple fritter was the gold standard?
Wait, you're talking hot apple pie. Was there a fritter at McDonald's too?
I mean, I thought it was a fritter, like it came in like a hand pie type thing.
No, okay. The apple fritter donut. You know,
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, really?
the
You like
big.
those?
Oh, come on, you don't.
No, I'm not crazy about those.
I could tell you my favorite high-end dessert I've ever had is there's a rosemary olive oil cake at with I think an olive oil gelato at Mozza in Los Angeles that is probably the most delicious. It's not Mozza Pizzeria, it's the most Mozza Osteria is the only
Yeah.
place you can get it. And that's one of the most delicious things I've ever had in my life. I love desserts
Wow.
so much. I could go forever. I could go forever.
Shout out to Nancy Silverton. I do think she makes the best gelato in LA or anywhere. Olive oil gelato when it's good. I rub it on my
Dude,
face.
how about a granita in Sicily, almond flavored granita in Sicily? You can also rub that in my face along with beef tallow. That's one of the greatest desserts of all time. Oh man, I love dessert. I don't drink, Dan,
Oh,
and
you don't drink?
I haven't drank since I was 15 years old. I've been sober
Hmm.
since then, and I really believe that my relationship with sugar and desserts is directly correlated to the fact that I don't get alcohol and I don't get
Yeah.
sugar from that.
Yeah.
And so it is my alcohol.
Got it. I think tiramisu is like, it doesn't get better than that. That to me
I,
is the perfect
Now I'm
dessert.
leaving. You're leaving me
What?
behind.
Are you out of
Not a
your
fan.
mind?
I
What?
guess I am. Yeah, crazy like a fox, brother. I don't love a
Whoa.
tiramisu. It's just a
You're
little
like
too
a
much. There's no there there. It's
you
just
are
like a
a
little.
you're like a fucking garbage disposal of desserts, and suddenly tiramisu is the thing. You're like, I like
I
everything. I like candy, chocolate, saltwater taffy, donuts,
I
pies.
love saltwater taffy.
And I'm like, great, what about tiramisu? No, no, we must have our
I do.
limits.
You know what else is not good are any Jewish desserts and Italian cookies.
I disagree with you. I think the rugala, I've always been pushing for the rugala to have its hipster moment. I want the rugala to have what the cupcake had. I want an artisanal rugala shop that has cool flavors, like a white chocolate fennel pollen rugala and
Sure.
stuff like that. I think that would be so
There's
cool.
one there's one good rugala in the world, and it's at Marzipan Bakery in Jerusalem. And I don't think anybody's flying to Jerusalem but for a like weird croissant impersonator. And by the
So
way,
I've had that rugala. It's wonderful.
and
It is the
it is the
it
best.
is it is the best. It is the best in the world. It's that place has like the red, right? There's red in
It's
the
been a very
branding.
long time since I've been, but it
It's
is. I
really
remember going there and it's like dripping. It's barely cooked.
yeah.
It's like a little raw, and it's like you pull apart. It's almost like pull apart, like Instagram food porn. That
Yeah.
is, but listen, it's not a good dessert if you have to travel to a war-torn Middle Eastern country to get the good version.
Or is it the best dessert? You got to go
Or
through
is it the
battle.
best? Yeah, yeah.
You
Worth
gotta earn. You gotta
it.
earn it. You gotta earn it. Who is your favorite celebrity food personality?
You, Dan. It's got to be you.
Yes, that's
Yeah, for
finally the right
sure.
answer. Finally. Desert island food. You're trapped on a desert island. Deserted island? Desert island? One food that you're going to eat for the rest of your life. You will never get tired of it.
Jeez, that is so tough. I guess I would just do spaghetti with red sauce.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
mine is
I'm
pizza,
trying to
which is
think
kind of
practical
similar.
here. I
Yeah.
could take that too. I'm trying to think practical because you're going to get sick of it no matter what. So what is the thing that could keep you going on year 40? It's probably it's a tomato sauce.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a food you can't stand eating besides tiramisu?
I can stand tiramisu. If it's the only dessert in the building, I'm taking a bite.
Oh, thank you.
I have a
Thank
lot
you
of
so much. Thank you so much. From all the tiramisu lovers out there.
the country of Italy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um, I I have a lot that I don't like. I do not care for anything made of an organ. I'll go there.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
lost
into a
me.
pate. I'm not into a foie gras. I'm not into
Mm,
any of that kind of grimy offal fucking animal innards. I'm out on.
you've you've changed,
Except
man. You've changed from the
except
shtetl. You've changed from your shtetl roots.
actually I haven't because I was gonna say except I do love kishka. Do you know what that is? That's not from your family lineage, I would
No,
say.
it's not. What is kishka?
Well, on Shabbat, there's like a Shabbat. What's your background? Are you Persian or
Iranian.
Yemenite?
Yeah, Persian.
Iranian. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I bet you guys have a version, but Jews would do this Shabbat stew, where you cook
Yes.
it overnight and it'll be Saturday afternoon. So ours is called cholent and it's beans and it's
Love
beef
cholent.
and a cholent is so good. And
The best.
traditional cholent comes with like a side dish cooked inside of it, which is kishka, which is like a wheat kind of like a wheat and beef. Actually, your ex-girlfriend's facial cream.
Mm.
It's a wheat and beef tallow like paste almost inside of a beef intestine, and
Mm.
they cook it inside of the cholent. But it's a separate little like dish, and then they'll cut it into slices. So it's like a kind of bread paste beef kind of, and it is. I will eat that all day, and that is
Let me
intestine
tell
based.
let me tell you something. If you like that beefy flavor, I got a girl for you. I got a
Yeah,
girl
I
for
know
you.
you do.
Last question. This is my favorite question. What is or what are your restaurant pet peeves?
Oh, that every restaurant is family style, and that they
Mm.
always ask you if you've ever dined there before, and then it's always the same. Have you ever dined here before? Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we're basically a restaurant. We have a menu. You choose from the menu, and then you order, and then you eat the food. It's like, yeah, I haven't been here, but I've cracked the code of eating before. Um,
Right, and then
what?
they tell you like what we suggest. Like, oh yeah, we suggest for each person eight appetizers per person, and then the middle side you want to get seven of those per person, and then for the entrees you want to get six entrees per person. Fuck you.
I also really don't like the trend of bread and butter being a separate menu item. That it's so annoying because I always want it and I never want to spend money on it.
What if it's like a really like they're making it in house and it's like a French,
Give it
it's
to
a
me.
butter from Brittany.
Give it to me for
Yeah.
free. Give it to me
Okay,
for free. I'm dining at your restaurant.
yeah, I get that.
But
I
I'm
think I'm okay with that. Like that should be the like I made the effort. I got in my car. I found parking. At the very least, the gesture should be, hey, here's some bread and butter for your troubles,
yes.
for getting over here. I can get
But
down
my
with that.
ultimate, I have an ultimate one.
Give it.
And it is if I was the president of the United States or any
Mm-hmm.
other country, I would make this and now I think we found out recently that any whim you have when you're the president, you can just strike it into law through presidential decree. I would
Yeah.
decree it illegal, punishable by maybe jail time.
Mm-hmm.
that if your restaurant adds a gratuity, you
Mm-hmm.
must mention it when you drop the check off.
100% I'm with you. I will vote for your ass.
Yes. Make it 25%. I don't care what you do. You gotta tell me so that I'm not double tipping you. It's
Yes.
immoral. It's wrong. It has to be stopped, and it is the reason I came on the podcast today.
Yes. I'm so glad that we finally got to it.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100% because I don't think there's any worse feeling in the world than when I go home and I somehow realize, like a friend tells me, like, yeah, they include the tip, and then I realize I double tipped. I, the rage that I fill up with, you just robbed me. You pickpocketed me on
Yeah.
the way out of your restaurant. You
That's right.
pickpocketed
Yeah,
me.
to find out that you accidentally tipped 25%, because I tip 5% generally if there's no tip included. No, I'm just
Right,
kidding.
right, right,
But
right.
40% is that's an egregious amount. 40%?
Unbelievable.
And it makes
Unbelievable.
that, yeah, that really makes me mad. No desserts at a restaurant. I got a lot of pet peeves.
Can I tell you something I did recently? And I think I'm gonna, you might be on my side on this.
Yeah.
I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, okay, and at a bar, and we ended up making some friends at the bar, and I wanted to get a round of shots, and it was a big dive bar in Jackson Hole, and I said, I saw a bottle of Clase Azul. You know what Clase Azul is? It's like that fancy tequila that's like the white
Yeah, yeah.
bottle. Yeah.
Yes.
And I said, can we get 3 shots? Now, you haven't ordered shots since you were 13 years old.
And they
But
were
I,
not of Clase Azul back
right,
then, let me tell you.
right. And I said, can I get 3 shots of Clase Azul? And she goes, sure. Towny bar. She gives us shots of Clase Azul. We take the shots. I get the bill. And she charged me $70 per shot.
Per shot?
Yes. Now, a shot of Clase Azul in the classiest place in LA is going to be $30 maybe 40, $70 in a fucking dive bar in, and I said to her, I think you mischarged me. You charged seven. She's like, no, that's how much it is. And I was like, seven, you don't think you should have told me that it's going to be $70 a shot? She's like, that's how much it is, $70 a shot. And I paid for it. And I'm disputing it with my credit card company. I'm saying this was
Yo,
ethically wrong.
well, you don't have a leg to stand on legally, but ethically, I'm so with you. It's like one of those bars in like, a border town like Tijuana or in Bangkok where they're like, hey, buddy, you like Naked Lady? Come on in, and you go, oh, I love Naked Lady. And you go in, and then they go, it's free admission. You just one drink. And then they charge you like $300 for the drink. It's basically that,
Yes.
but you didn't even get like a cowgirl to like shake her
No.
butt in front of you.
No naked lady at all. No naked lady.
Absolutely. If you're charging $70 a shot, you should say, I'd like 3 shots of Casa Azul. She should say, okay, just so you know, we charge an insane amount per shot.
Yeah,
I want you to
yeah.
know that.
Yeah. My conversation with a person at American Express was comical because he was like, he was like, I don't understand. He was in what's it called? He was like from a call center in India, and he's like, I don't. Okay, so but that's what they charge. I was like, yeah, and it's too much. And he's like, okay, but you paid it, and I'm like, yeah, but it's too much. And he's like, and eventually, but did they advertise it like on the menu? I was like, I didn't ask for the menu. I just said, give me 3 shots. He's like, okay, okay. And it's one of those things where he wants to be, he's like paid to be nice to the customer because it's Amex.
But
And he's
you're
like,
being stupid.
I'm being stupid. And then he goes, well, how much do you intend to pay for the shots? And I was like, I'd be comfortable spending $30 a shot. He goes, okay, so then you're just. So he's
Wait,
like,
you're going
so-
$10. You're going $10 less than the highest possible in Los Angeles?
Yes, I should have done 20.
Now,
I
you
should
should
have
have
done
done
20.
40.
And he said, okay, so let me get this straight. We're disputing the difference from $70 a shot to $30 a shot, which is $120. And I said, yeah,
You
He's
got
like-
it. You got it, my man.
okay, we'll give it a shot.
What if it works? What if the bar owner's like, yeah, we just charge that to see if people will pay it, but yeah,
I
you
have a
disputed
feeling-
it, we're down.
I think Amex is gonna take the hit because it's like a platinum card, and they'll be like, "All right, we gotta take care of these douchebags."
Do you ever worry that they will recognize your name from the public profile that
Hmm.
you have and
Hmm.
say, "You're telling me
Hmm.
that what is it? Is it Anush? What's her name in the show
Yeah,
in
Anush
Cobra
from
Kai?
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
Anush from Cobra Kai wants
Yep.
to reject the charge of 120. You need $120 back.
Yep. Yeah, and I would respond and say, I am but a lowly recurring star on Cobra Kai. Yes, I have a
He's
lot of
like,
face
I'm
time.
sorry, I work in a call center, dude. I don't know the difference between lowly recurring and a movie star. To me, you're rich.
Rashid, listen, there's series regular, there's recurring, there's guest
This is
star.
all noise to me, okay? I was born in the slums of Calcutta. I grinded my way into this American Express call center. This is a huge jump from where my parents were. And you
Right.
want $120 back for 3 shots of
Yes,
tequila.
yes. Let me explain. This wasn't even añejo, it was reposado. So, añejo's aged in wood casks for up to 5 years.
I know what a Yahoo is, sir.
Just hear a gunshot on the other side of the call. Hello? Rashid? Rashid.
Hello.
This
This
has
is
been
Rashid's
so
manager.
Oh, yes, hi. I was explaining Añejo to Rashid.
Yes, he understood all too well. There is no Rashid anymore. All right, you were going to tell me how fun this was.
This was
And I
so
agree.
fun. And you know what? I knew it was going to be so fun, so I'm not surprised, but I am tickled. Thank you for joining. Tell the people where they can find you. Tell them what you've been up to.
Oh, well, you can find me online at Moshe Kasher on all the different things. You can see me every week on the Endless Honeymoon podcast that I host with my wife, Natasha Leggero. It's a love and dating, sex, relationship advice call-in podcast where we give advice and people leave their deep, dark secrets, and we listen to those too. And you can come see me live. In fact, I'll be in Portland, Oregon, April the 20th. Will this be out by then? I'm sure it will. April the 20th at the Polaris Hall. You can get tickets now or go to moshekasher.com to see me. I'm coming all over the place. I'm coming all over the place in Beef
He's
Tallow
coming.
Strands. San
Baby.
Diego, I'll be there. I'll be in Eugene, Oregon. I'm coming your way. So catch me while you can. Austin, just look at moshekasher.com.
And I highly recommend Moshe's Instagram. You've been putting in some your social media. You know, I've been putting in some effort into my social media, so I recognize the other people that I'm like, oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's putting in the effort.
Well, you know who's doing it is Tim Young, the
Yeah,
guy that is actually doing it. Tim Young, great comedian also, and an unbelievable video editor. So check him out too.
amazing.
I might as well, shout him out. But yeah, it's a grind, and we're getting older, Dan. So
I
that's why
know.
we find like a Gen Z guy with an androgynous haircut to cut your videos for you and put them up.
My guy's name is Bruce, which does not sound like a Gen Z guy. But
Well, it
shout
just
out to
all depends
Bruce.
on what Bruce's name was when they were born. It could be
Right.
very Gen Z.
That's true. That's very true. Shout out to Bruce and Tim. Thank you for making us relevant. Moshe, you're the best. I love you. Take care.
You're the best. I love you too. And Rashid, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.